Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Friday and all the guests today brought to you by Bird's Nest Properties, your Vancouver property managers who take care of everything. So you don't have to own a rental property. Give the folks at Bird's Nest Properties a call today, 604-260-9955, or visit birdsnestproperties.ca. Myself, Ryan Henderson, Rick Dollywall. No Don Taylor. He'll join us next. He's still recovering from his late night last night and all the accolades he received.
Yes.
BC Sports Hall of Fame.
Deservingly.
Yes. We are joined now, of course, by former Hartford Whalers goaltender, Quebec Nordiques goaltender, Canucks goaltender, and as he told us recently, member of the Richmond Robins back in the day as well. Yeah. John Garrett joins us now. John, how are you?
You forgot the Portland Buckaroos.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I forgot. I pulled up your Wikipedia, and I just don't have the time to go through all the names.
No, I know.
So last night, John, Canucks eke out a victory. Late goal by JT Miller, 3-2 in game number 5. What did you see? What were your takeaways?
Well, it would have been nice to talk about it after the game, but Don, I guess. Priorities. You have to set your priorities, and you're right, Rick. Deservedly so. Don has been a fixture, and I remember when I first came to Vancouver way back when in 1983, and Sports Page was on, and Don and the whole gang, and it was just one of the first shows where you could sit for the half hour and watch all the sports and enjoy it, and it was so much fun, and the excitement that was around Sports Page, and I'm glad I congratulated Donnie right away when they announced it, and I can congratulate him again.
Outstanding.
But you talk about last night's game, and I think JT Miller, the texting to your coach, I don't think I really agree with that after a game. After game 4, he texted Rick Tocchet and apologized for having a bad game. And you look at his stats in that game 4 and then compare them to his stats in game 5. And the face-offs are a key indicator. Shots on goal, a key indicator. Face-offs, what was he? 5-14 or something in Edmonton in game 4. And then last night it was completely opposite. He had 7 shot attempts, and in game 4 he only had 2. He was the best player on the ice last night, and you watch him play. And last night there was no comparison. He was way better than Connor McDavid, and McDavid is considered the best player in the league, and JT was much better than Connor McDavid in last night's game. And I think rightly so, the fourth line was getting a lot of accolades after the game, and the penalty killers. And you look at Teddy Bluger, look at his penalty killing minutes, and Nikita Zadorov, his penalty killing minutes, and even Nils Oman, he's a natural centerman playing the wing, but he gets out there and he was 4 out of 5 in the face-off circle, and especially he too was a minute and a half killing penalties. And when you keep the Oilers 0 for 5, chances are you're going to win, because 5-on-5 the Canucks have been the better team.
Okay, John, I want to ask you about Pettersson. A lot of heat in the market. He did the interview I think a couple of days ago, but much more engaged last night, going to the hard areas, played a role on the winner. The fans were chanting his name. Bruce Boudreau came on our show and said, you know what, just smile. I want to see the smile again. And post game, he was smiling, John. So talk about his game last night and what he's gone through this week.
Well, you have to have fun, and I think that's something. And we talked about it, Rick. You brought it up after Game 4 that he looked frustrated, and Ilya Mikheyev, they say, is banged up, and so he didn't play. And then all of a sudden, Elias is playing with Elias, and Elias Lindholm is having such a great series and has been so good in the playoffs, and he's controlling play. And I know Elias playing the wing, but the two of them have the good chemistry right from the get-go, and they kind of alternate the center position. Lindholm takes the face-offs, and then they shuffle back and forth, and you could tell right from the get-go that Elias was involved. The penalty he took, I couldn't figure that one out, but it showed he was physically involved. And okay, maybe elbowing.
Yeah.
the left elbow came up and maybe elbowing, but you call that charging?
Hey,
I'd have to get my trusty rule book out and see if you jump on a reverse hit, if that's considered a charge. I'd have to look at it. But
weird call.
Anyway, he was involved, and that to me, what the touch on the turning the foot and dragging it, not a kicking motion, but turning it and dragging it towards the net. And the skilled players have all the neck and around the net, and his off his foot hit the post, and then JT's right there. But that little subtle move with the right skate.
He did.
It just, you watch it, and if you could freeze it, you just see the skill set on a player that knows what's happening. And look, watch the right foot here.
Yeah.
Just he lifts it and drags it towards the net, and then JT's there to bang it in. And I think that's one of the things that you just
right
can't
there.
replace. Look at that move right there.
Yeah, right there. He did that on purpose. Yep.
Yeah, there was no doubt right there, and you can see he's dragging it towards the net, and the skate off the ice a little bit, the toe down, and JT right there to bang, to jump on it and put it away. And I give Elias a lot of credit, and playing at home with the fans chanting his name, and I think it really helps. And long term, I don't think Elias is a winger. I think they're going to have to sort it out, and whether Lindholm signs with the Canucks or not, that's a question down the road. But they'll have to figure something out and get, if they need more depth so Elias has better players to play with, okay. But right now, I think it was a good move by Rick Tocchet to move the lines around. And I think Edmonton will probably do the same thing. Edmonton in Game 5. Rick, what do you think of Corey Perry's play?
Non-existent. I mean, just
exactly
non-existent.
Exactly. Now, and Chris Knobloch changed goalies, and they thought that was a bold move. Do you scratch a guy that's been around and just turned 39 and has the Stanley Cup pedigree? And do you scratch Corey Perry? I would. I'd get him, because he is doing nothing.
Nothing. He's been in the whole series. He's been non-existent. Not many guys can answer this question except you. Now, I've been saying Demko's getting closer. I've always said, even in the last round, possibly Game 6 or 7. I'm hearing more Game 7. What do you do, John, if they say Demko's ready, and you got the kid 8 straight games, he's got you here, but then you got your number one goaltender? What would you do if they said in Game 7 that Demko's ready? What would you do?
Well, I don't think you just don't say he's ready.
Yeah.
That's easy to say. Ilya Mikheyev's banged up. Yeah, okay. You can say that. And then Thatcher Demko, okay, he's getting close. But if Silas plays really well in Game 6 and they still lose, you can't expect Thatcher to come into a Game 7.
Right.
After all the time he's had off. That's not fair to Thatcher, and it's not fair to Arturs. So unless Arturs throws a real stinker in Game 6, I think Thatcher is not going to be available until the next round.
Yep.
On the flip side, would you, if you're the Oilers, do you stick with Pickard, or do you go back to Skinner?
I'd stick with Pickard. I thought he was really good last night. That second period, the Canucks what were the shots? 17-4.
17-4.
Yeah, it was crazy, and he was really good. I'd stick with him. Skinner, it seems to be a little bit of nerves, and can you imagine how nervous he'd be getting thrown into an elimination game after he's got the hook in this series? I think I'd go with Pickard again and make sure that the team plays like they did in Game 4, a very protective style.
Okay, one last thing before we go, John. Rick discovered this in the break. Derek, you got to pull my computer down for a second. Rick discovered this in the break, and so he wants to ask you about your photo on your Hockey DB page and the story behind it. He's obsessed with this photo.
No, look, John, explain this. Explain this.
Okay, this is that's a Hartford Whaler jersey, obviously.
Yeah.
And back when we were getting perms, everybody was getting
exactly.
So I had the perm going.
Yeah.
And then the Sean Connery 007 was in vogue then. So the hairy chests were really sexy. So you let the hairy chest go right up your
Wow. Nice.
And then the Cheech and Chong mustache. You had to there's the Hockey DB picture in a nutshell. That's it.
That is outstanding, John.
John, the mustache, the thickness, that's what we all crave. I need that thickness that you got there with the mustache. Beautiful mustache.
That's what he's going after. He's trying
I'm trying to get that.
And the naturally dark hair.
Yes.
Get out of the bottle.
Absolutely.
What a beautiful picture. Beautiful picture.
Thank you for clearing that up, John. We really appreciate it. And we will talk to you tomorrow night following game number 6.
Okay, great.
Thanks, John.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Good
John.
to talk to you, Ryan.